Have you been seeing any communication or any headlines elsewhere about something fishy going on with QR codes?
QR codes have been around for a while. They've been around 20 years. And ever since they first came onto the scene, a lot of security experts looked at it and went, yeah, there's an easy way here that you could manipulate this to do not so many good things, so to speak, because essentially your QR code is sort of like a link that you see on a web page, but it's disguised in this square looking barcode that you can take your phone and hover over, and it will take you to a website. Well, you can do this in retail stores. You can do it they're doing it at restaurants now because of the pandemic and a way to reduce people touching things. This way they get them to scan that barcode at the restaurant. And I remember when I started seeing them, when I went out, I'm like, I would tell all my friends and go, if I want to hack somebody's phone, it's going to be through one of these. Now, I'm one of the good guys and one of the people that, thinks about these things in a bad way so that we can have that awareness to be able to protect all of ourselves. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because, a bad guy could come in, he could go out and easily generate QR codes. It's very easy. You can go onto the internet and you could print up a bunch of stickers and lay them around at a restaurant over top of the other ones that are there. And very easily you could make the website, when it pops up, because when you scan that code with your camera on your smartphone, it pops up with a website. And they could manipulate that website address. It could look like the one that we're thinking we're going to. It's going to bring up a menu, but in fact, it could be downloading malware onto your device or looking to try and steal data from you. Now, I haven't seen a lot of it here in the United States, but I have seen a lot of stories globally, in Europe, in Africa, because a lot more, those cultures, they're using those phones a lot more for those convenience needs than we are here in the US. I don't think we're quite there yet.
So what should people do in order to protect themselves from QR code scams, even though the scam isn't really here yet?
Right. So while we're not seeing a lot of scams here, there is the potential because of all the different places where they're popping up, especially now with the pandemic. So for me, the biggest thing that I do, and even when I've gone into restaurants and there's the QR code and I go to scan it, I check the address. It'll pop up. The smartphones nowadays will show you what that website address is. And so usually I'm looking at that going, okay, is that the actual website for this place? Another thing would be to check with the management or the people that work at the place where you are, whether retail or restaurant, and verify that's the actual website address. Sometimes they may print the website, what you should see. If not, just a quick question with someone, or they may have it posted. But a quick question just to verify is usually a good step with what we usually like to tell people in security is, you want to trust, but you got to do a little verification. Trust but verify. Also, if somebody comes up to you or they send you, you get an email that's got a QR code in there, that's usually a telltale sign not to click on those. If it gets used a lot in a lot of the different phishing attacks that are out there. And so with phishing, we always say, are you expecting the email? Is it coming from somebody you know? If you're not expecting it, then be very careful and be vigilant with the email that you're looking at, especially if it's got a QR code that says, hey, click on the, scan the QR code and visit the website. It's almost just the same as if you would be clicking on a link.
Now, how would a person know that they were part of a scam through a QR code? How would they know?
So with the scams, a lot of the time, some of the ones that I've seen is they'll get you to pay for something with your bank through a QR code, and they've ended up having their bank account cleaned out. Now it's unfortunate, but it has happened. Haven't seen a lot of cases here in the US, but it has been known to happen that way. Usually if you're scanning the code, you want to make sure you're going to, again, check the website, but if you're noticing strange deposits or strange transactions or something weird going on with your phone, if you've been using your phone to scan, that's kind of a good telltale sign right there. But a lot of the time you may not know that you've been impacted or infected with anything from that. But a lot of the time they're going in, they're looking for data, they're looking for a way to get a hold of information from your phone. And so that could be used further down the line for identity theft or trying to gain access to accounts.
Now, when you say weird things happening to your phone, like what does that mean exactly?
So yeah, if weird things, anything unusual, a lot of the times it could be apps showing up that you're not expecting. It could be, apps being deleted, the complete opposite, or emails are being sent from your phone that you're not recognizing. A lot of the time they're going to try and get into the different systems. They might try and find information and email it out. But a lot of the time they're just going in there just to steal data from you, collect information about you. But if there's anything weird happening, then they're probably launching other programs. If your phone has any type of antivirus, it's a good idea to run that and make sure you have that protection on there as well.
So our station recently started this new thing where our viewers can just scan the QR code when the QR code pops up on the screen.
Right? Yep.
Are those at risk?
So unless somebody's going to intercept your signal that you're sending out to to your audience, that for me would be a trusted source. It's coming in from you all, and it's kind of like when you go to the restaurant. If you know that that's belonging to the restaurant, that's one of those trusted sources. If you're popping it up on your through your feed out to everybody, for me, I would look at that and go, okay, that's a trusted source.